Most guitar players never get shown this, but this is what I teach every student as I teach them their first song and their first lesson.
Look who knows so much, huh?
Hey everyone, I'm AJ Hansen with Level Up Your Guitar. No tab sheet music for this video, but the private lesson link is in the description. Let's get into it. I started as a blues rock guy, but then I studied classical music. So my technique has always been the first thing on the table. Day one, lesson one. And I'm not gonna make you play like a classical guitarist, but here's the thing I tell every student. Good technique in the wrong context is not good technique. Classical is just the best neutral starting point because it gives you the most options regardless of what you're playing. Once you own it, you can break the rules, but you gotta own it first. So I had a brand new trial lesson recently, and she came to me after a full semester of guitar in school. She had been given one instruction, learned 3 songs by the end of the term. That was it. No technique, no hand position, nada. She was copying what she saw on YouTube videos and fighting the guitar the whole way. Here's what I've discovered over 26 years of teaching guitar. Over 90% of first lesson students can play a song that sounds like the recording, and they can do it in 30 minutes, but once the technique is set up correctly. They may not be able to play it perfectly, but well enough where they can hear the song, and then they light up like a Christmas tree. And by week 2, they really have it down. That's what good technique does. It stops you from fighting the instrument. The hardest part about what I'm going to show you is this. Relaxed doesn't mean passive. It's an active state. You're making a conscious choice every time you pick up the guitar, so let's build it from the ground up. First things first, sitting position. Everything starts before your hands even touch a guitar. So you're ideally sitting near the edge of your chair, feet flat on the floor. And that's not a throwaway comment. Tension in your legs travels up into your hips and into your back, into your shoulders, and right down into your hands. Grounding your feet is the first layer of relaxed setup. So keep your feet flat on the floor. And I was notorious for having my heels up when I was taking lessons until one day my teacher, who was studying his PhD in classical guitar, just yelled at me to stop doing that, and I just quit cold turkey.
Okay, a simple wrong would have done just fine, but...
Next, the guitar goes flat across your lap, like this. So you got the curved part on your lap. We're not doing the classical position today. That's its own conversation, even though I am pro sitting like this. For now, just let the guitar sit naturally like this. You're not propping it up, you're not leaning it over. Let the guitar come to you and sit naturally. Next is the right hand, or the picking hand. Everything starts at the shoulders. And if you're like me, you carry a lot of tension and stress up here. So before you even touch the guitar, do 3 slow shoulder shrugs. Just pinching up and let them drop completely. Just let gravity do its thing. You'll feel a difference, and then if it starts to creep back up, you'll notice it sooner, and then you can help yourself relax again. From here, your forearm up to your elbow is going to be where you lock the guitar in. So if you're using an electric guitar and you're strumming, your forearm right here will probably lay across the top here. If you're picking like single notes or you want to start playing fast, it'll be this region here of the forearm that will make a little bit more contact here. And if you're playing acoustic guitar, the crook of your elbow here where it bends, that's generally where you'll lock the guitar into place. Just like that. Now for the pick. Now, there are plenty of outliers of how people hold their pick, but in general, it's thumb and index finger, and you can see I'm making a hook shape here with my index finger, and it's roughly making a perfect line with my thumb. And there's not a whole lot of the guitar pick showing. But the key after that, in my opinion, is you should relax these 3 fingers, so they should be out, especially because you'll likely be strumming as a beginner. Now, one quick thing I'm a little hesitant to mention, but I feel like I need to. As you start playing faster single note stuff, you may notice that your fingers make a light fist with your hand. That's okay. It's almost like it's becoming more aerodynamic the faster you want to play. And you can see from this angle, my middle ring and pinky are relaxed and out. They're not making a fist as I play. Quick note, if you want me to walk you through better technique one-on-one, I do private online lessons at levelupyourguitar.com. I've been teaching for 26 years and have taught nearly 30,000 lessons. I only take on a handful of new students at a time. If that sounds like the right fit, apply for a free trial lesson. links in the description. All right, left hand or the fretting hand, depending on which hand you use to do which. This is the good stuff. So again, we got the same rule up top, shoulder relax, then you let your elbow hang comfortably at your side. Let gravity do its thing. There's 3 things your elbow should not be doing. 1, out like this. You're not a bird taking off for flight. Let it hang. 2, sucking your elbow in like this. You're not a wrestler putting someone in a headlock. Don't do that. Relax. 3, resting your elbow on your leg. I know this looks cool. It's very outlaw country. Big fan. Looks awesome. But it limits your mobility. Full stop. Elbow off the leg. One note on this. Once you start playing bar chords, your elbow position will shift a little bit, where your elbow will kind of get into that wrestler headlock position just to give you a little bit more leverage on the strings. But for now, completely relaxed should be your home base. From there, everything hinges on one thing, and this is probably the most important piece of information in this whole video. Thumbs up, bro. So the thumb is the most important thing in your left hand technique. Not necessarily fingers, it does lead to that, but it's really the thumb. Here's how to set this up. Whoever you're playing for, whoever your audience is, even if you're just serenading your pet, give them a thumbs up. That's it. Your thumb goes in the middle of the back of the neck, pointing straight up. So it should look like this. A few things you do not want to do here. First, don't wrap your thumb over the top of the neck like it's a baseball bat. Now, I know some of you hecklers might already be thinking, but Hendrix did that. Yeah, I know Hendrix did it. I know Stevie Ray Vaughan did it. Everybody we like did it. And there are moments for that, but it's a terrible starting point. Thumb on the back of the neck first. You earn the exceptions later. Now, if you've been playing for years already and you're watching this video, don't expect an overnight cure. I did the same, and it took a while to make the proper technique natural, but I assure you, it is worth fixing. Second thing not to do, let your thumb slide off to the side. That's what you want to avoid. Keep it up and straight. And when your thumb is in the right position, middle of the neck, pointing straight up, use the thumb pad, not the tip. So use your thumb pad, not the tip of your thumb. The tip puts a strain on your whole arm. The pad is stable and more relaxed. When your thumb is in the right place, you'll automatically get a U shape between your thumb and your index finger. And you'll see a little space right there in the middle of your palm and the neck. That space is for mobility. And another thing to watch out for once you've got that space right there, make sure that the wrist is down. If it's bunched up like this, that's no good. Limits your mobility again. Just let it drop like this with just a soft bend between your forearm and the back of your hand. All right, let's talk about the finger curl and the fingertips. So once the thumb is set, the fingers have one job: curl. Think of McDonald's arches, that golden M shape. Your fingers should look like that, high enough to arch up and over the strings so you're not accidentally muting the string next to the one you're playing. Let's try it from this angle as well. So again, that one has a nice curl to it. That one has a nice curl. That one has a nice curl to it. One thing to watch out for, especially in the ring finger, is this top knuckle under your fingernail. That should have a bend to it. Oftentimes I see that flattening out a lot, and even with sometimes the middle finger as well. But generally the ring finger, that's one to watch out for, especially with the C major chord. And play on your fingertips. That's where the string makes contact with the bone, or a harder surface, or a harder part of your fingertip. Quick note here, keep your fretting hand nails short. This only works on your fingertips, and long nails make that impossible. They'll push your finger back onto the pad every single time. Short nails on the fretting hand, non-negotiable. And something that may be harder to notice as a beginner, but I'll tell you, when you play on the soft pads of the finger, the note will go a little bit dull. But if I play on the tip, on the bone, that's where the notes ring clear, and they have an extra shimmer to them. That's two things that happens in once: better tone and less surface area touching the string, which means it's easier to lift off cleanly when you need to move on to the next note. That's where the good sound lives. So in short, if my pencil here is the string, this is bad technique, that's good technique, in a nutshell. So here's everything we covered in order. Feet flat on the floor, shoulders relaxed, do 3 shoulder shrugs to reset if you need. Right hand, elbow, or forearm locks in the guitar, pick is held with the thumb and index, and the 3 fingers are relaxed. Left hand or fretting hand, elbow at your side, you're not a bird, you're not a wrestler, and you don't lean in on your lap. Thumb position, thumbs up, middle of the neck, use the pad, not the tip, look for the U shape and the visible space. Then for the fingers, you think of McDonald's arches, a high curl, get up and over the strings. For your fingertips, keep your nails short and play on the harder surface or the bone of the fingertip. Now go back and watch that part one more time and write down the bullet points of what I just said.
Write that down.
Run through that list every time you sit down to play, just for a couple weeks. Takes about 10 seconds once you know what you're looking for. And then one day you'll stop checking because it just becomes the way you hold the guitar and the way you play the guitar. That's when you know it's installed. And there you have it. Part 1 of my micro lessons on technique. In part 2, I will show you how to fix muted and buzzy strings. If this helped you level up, hit the like button and subscribe. I drop fresh lessons every week. Private lesson link is down in the description. If you want to put this technique to work immediately, for beginners, check out my very first video on how to play Sweet Home Alabama. And if you've been playing for a while, check out my video on learning C major scales all over the neck. Keep playing, and I'll see you in the next lesson.